So I think my labor and delivery story from like 5 days ago was like pretty interesting. So I'm just going to share it. I had to go in the operating room to be induced because my baby was transverse. His head was by my ribs. So my OB wanted to turn him and break my water at the same time to keep him in place. And in case of an emergency, like a prolapsed cord or whatever, I had to be in the OR just in case I needed an emergency C-section. Now, my partner gets a little bit faint every time I get an epidural or when I'm delivering the baby. Like, he will get nauseous and he gets like very unwell. So I thought because this time, you know what I mean, like we've prepped, like we've asked all the questions, that like he'd be okay. So let me place the scene for you, okay? It's very cold. It's almost like a warehouse. I hate the OR. Absolutely hate the OR. My doctor was like, "Oh, I got a playlist for this." And I'm thinking like, I have the shakes. I'm super nervous. And also my contractions are a 3 out of 10. Like, I've been in prodromal labor for weeks, so like I don't believe I'm in active labor, but she told me I was, so I was like, "Okay, girl, like I believe you." So she starts putting on music, okay? And she's like, "You're gonna love this." And she starts playing the 80s version of "You Spin Me Right Round." And because I'm like so disoriented, I'm like, I don't understand. She's like, "We're turning this baby." And I was like, okay. We all have scrubs on, my eyes twitching. And she's basically like, you know, with like her mask on and her net and her scrubs on her hair. And I'm literally like, I. And all I hear is, "You spin my head right round." I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? And my nurse is like, "Is this unsettling to you?" And I was like, yeah, it kind of is. And she's like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" And because I'm freaking out, I'm like, I don't know, like early 2000s, like punk rock, like Sum 41. I'll never hear that band the same. So my doctor has to leave the room for a minute to get prepared for something, and her phone just switches to a new song. And all I'm going to say is I can't remember what the song was called, but we were all pretty mortified because it was like, "Who can save?" I'm literally like, what the fuck is this? And my nurse is like, "Oh my God, no, where's her phone? Like, why is she playing this? We need to shut this off." So then they put on Sum 41, and all I hear is like, "Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep." And I'm literally like, oh my God, no, you just like ruined one of my favorite songs. The epidural lady's behind me, like, "I don't like any of this music." And I'm like, same girl, same. So my partner, he's like standing in front of me. The nurse is directly in front of me, and she has to like hold my shoulders down and whatever for the epidural. And usually an epidural is great when you're like screaming in pain and you're like, "Give it to me." But I wasn't there yet. I had like maybe like a little bit of a like cramp. I was like, and I had to get this needle in my spine, and you have to stay very still. So and that hurt. So before I looked down, before I got my epidural, my partner's standing there, and also he had his mask on, so he's like talking to me with his mask, like, I'm like, "I can't, I don't understand, I don't know what you're saying, I can't hear you." And the music's going, and it's like it's a whole thing. So this lady's very thorough. She's like the best anesthesiologist to do this. Like, I always had a guy who was like kind of scary and German and whatever, but this girl was really nice. And like, it took a while, and I was like, "Why is this taking so long?" And it's like right in my spine, and like it's just, and the operating room is really loud. Like, it's literally blasting Sum 41, and I'm like, eh. So I look up from getting my epidural, and like my partner's not there. And I start looking around, and I'm like doing one of these like room check because there's a lot of people in the room. And my OB comes up. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to be your emotional support person right now." And I was like, "Where is he?" And she's like, so for somebody," and he's light skinned, "for somebody who has like fairly dark skin, like he turned pretty pale." And I was like, "Oh, so where is he?" She's like, "He's double fisting juice and water in the other room." And I was like, "Oh, okay, no, it was the epidural," because that's like how he normally gets, because he's empathetic and he doesn't know how to help me. So I was like, "You can go tell him the epidural's done and that he can come back in." She's like, "Oh, I don't know if he's allowed back in here." And I'm like, "Yes, he is. I'm not doing this alone. Go get him." And she's like, "Well, I can't have him like fainting on the operating equipment." And I was like, "No, no, no, he won't faint. He may feel like he's gonna like shit his pants or throw up, but like he's not gonna faint. I've never seen him faint. Ever. So go get him, please." So she goes and gets him. And then I basically had him beside me, and the epidural started working, and I could see he was like, and I was like, "Eyes on me. We're good. We're going to be fine. Just, are you good?" And he's like, "Yeah, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you good?" But yeah, it's pretty funny. I would prefer no music. I've always wanted a playlist while I'm delivering, but like this time, no. Honestly, no. I 10 out of 10 would not recommend that.